so often. And it's not just that I'm older. I'm also very embodied. I am a full, very whole person who knows myself, who is in charge of my life, and who lives a very full, just robust life. So
when you hear somebody say that, that just means that they didn't been through a lot of people and they didn't spun a block a whole lot of times. And when I hear somebody say that they want a partner, regardless if you're a man or a woman, that tells me everything that I need to know before we even get into it. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Also, tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Let's get to it, man. Let's rock out. I want to hear what she got to say.
It's not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up other than they're hot and gorgeous?
There's that.
There's that. But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity.
She's talking about dating younger men. And lo and behold, Michelle Obama, she had to throw her 2 cents in. And there's that. She's talking about talking to much, much, much younger men versus how old she is. I'm not sure how old Tracee Ellis Ross is. I'll actually look that up while she's talking. Give me a second.
And have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where
She's 52 years old.
Was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize, and I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again.
I'm sorry.
No,
Craig.
I was going to say, it's a generational thing. So it didn't matter how you met them, or is it just kind of the guys you're meeting?
That's obviously
too big of a generalization.
It's a generalization, but because I have dated men my age, there is a difference. There is an openness that occurs with a younger man around whether it's gender fluidity or not even having an issue with homosexuality. I mean, something as basic as that there's times where I'll be sitting across the table from somebody and just like, what did you just say?
Yeah, what century are you?
Like, oh my God.
Where's your horse and buggy?
Yeah, like, I'm so sorry.
And your bedpan.
Yeah, for real.
Chamber pot.
Yeah, your chamber pot. Like where I'm.
So essentially what they're saying is that guys that hold on to traditional values are outdated, right? She prefers somebody that is into their gender fluidity and transgender and homosexuality, and people can just do whatever it is that they want to do when they want to do it and all of this other stuff. And so essentially they've outgrown traditional values to now embrace whatever this new stuff is. And so her whole thing about dating younger men is that younger men have basically been raised to be feminized versus older men that have more traditional values and that is age appropriate for how old she is. Now, I'm looking at her age right now, and it says that she's 52, will be 53 this year. Wow. It's crazy. It's crazy in my opinion personally, and I want to know what you guys got to say inside of the chat. It's crazy in my opinion personally to be listening to a 52-year-old woman talk about she prefers to date younger men, which, listen, do whatever you want to do when you want to do it. When guys do it, they say, oh man, you hunting, you're a predator, all of this stuff. When women do it, it's based off of the fact that they understand her because it's all about evolving and gender fluidity. But let's continue to hear what she has to say.
Just like, this is not a match. And I have long been past the age where I feel like it's my job to teach somebody or grow them up. That I'm not interested in. So, but it's interesting. I mean, there's so many different philosophies on dating, and I have come up with mine. I have come up with what works for me and what makes sense for me and what feels safe for me.
She used to be like so hot to me. I mean, so.
She said, teach somebody. Teach them to think how you want them to think. Teach. I'm long past the age of teaching someone or making or raising someone to believe how I want them to think how they want me to think. She wants somebody to think how she want them to think. And if they don't think how she thinks, then that's most women though. If you don't think how they think, you need to think exactly how I think. You think anything opposite of what I think, this can't work. That's insanity.
Hot. And this is what happens a lot of times when people share their personal opinions,
That's crazy.
outside of whatever it is that they do for a living, and that starts to bleed into and feed into, because
can't teach
obviously,
you. Wow.
you know, with social media and advent of it and the blowing up of the social media space, you know, kind of pay attention like, dang, she ain't never got no man, she ain't never married, she just continuing to age, and she got this, fine ass body and stuff like that, and this chick must be, in your mind, it's kind of like the Halle Berry syndrome. Must be something wrong with you. What's wrong with her? So she bad as hell, dated all of these people, and ain't nobody snatched her up and wiped her up. Ain't nobody convinced her. That's kind of the syndrome that I have with Tracee Ellis Ross. Me personally. I know other people got their preferences and all of that. Obviously, she's aged and she's aging, but she's still, in my opinion, she still look good. But her mind is fucked up. A lot of these women's minds is messed up, bro.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm not on dating apps. I have friends that have great success with dating apps, but that's just not something I'm comfortable with.
So you're meeting folks in the wild then?
That's the only way for me. Or someone sets me up, or I meet them at an event. I meet someone. It's usually people that also have a level of recognition that they, have as much to lose as me to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, I haven't had great luck lately, but I do have to say I'm moving up on what it is that I'm looking for as a match. Yeah.
Ain't that crazy? Somebody that got this level of visibility, that's in all of the spaces, in 52, 53 years, they have not had any luck. And do you see how they talk? I haven't had any luck lately. They're not looking to be in a relationship, long-term marriage, be with the person, their forever person. It's different, bro. It's a different space, a different landscape. It's just different all across the board. It's so wild, man, to even think that women think this way in this day and time, and that they've become so liberal that it's more like a feminist female empowerment movement instead of it being something that's actually conducive for your lifestyle. And listen, I'm not tripping as long as you ain't got kids, as long as you ain't messing up the world or whatever, so on and so forth. But God damn it, this is wild, bro.
Yeah. I've had some doozies. Yeah.
But it's just, I just love watching your life because you were modeling so many things, the next phase, how many versions of ourselves we can become at all ages in life, and how to build the life you want.
Yes.
Not the life that somebody told you were supposed to have. And let me tell you, I told you this about the girls, and Tracee, just like, she mentors the girls, she's always there for them. But shit,
that's a red flag.
That's a
red flag on the play.
Trying to make sure that I am not subconsciously sending them these messages about what their life should look like. Even like when you ask, are you dating anyone? I mean, that's something that we ask young people in their 20s. You know, the whole thing about weddings,
we talk a lot about that.
Yeah, it's just like the pre-proposal and the bachelorette and the pre-honeymoon and then the 3 wedding dresses and have you thought about
the amount of money,
your 32 list items of who you want to marry, or are you more busy picking out your photographer?
Yeah, it's interesting, that whole, I hope
32 list item.
What?
that is starting to dissipate culturally.
So.
I really do. I think social media is perpetuating some of those things in a really big way. But I did dream of my wedding growing up. And that's not to say that I didn't dream of the bigness of my life, but I could have spent a lot more time dreaming of my life. And as much as grief does surface for me around not having children and not having a partner, I still wouldn't want the wrong partner.
So the truth is coming out.
She said the grief.
So she really did want these things.
The grief.
Listen, let a woman talk long enough, even if it's Tracee Ellis Ross, and they will tell you everything that you want to know about what you want to know when you want to know it. And they sit there and talk this gender fluidity bullshit and all of this stuff. But in reality, they wanted the same thing that every traditional woman ever wanted when they was growing up. For whatever reason, they found themselves being indoctrinated and not getting the results that they wanted. And this translates into what you see today and them preaching this nastiness online that they influence in the next generation and basically imparting all of their generational trauma onto them to prevent them from being able to get the success that they should want to.
So
let me know what y'all think inside of the chat. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon link.
So she said she letting Michelle say she mentors her daughters, so they gonna be like her. You know, you need to have Tracee Ellis Ross strikes me as a type of woman. If a man doesn't think exactly how she thinks, it's a red flag. Oh, well, I like to stay up all night and, hey, baby, at night I like to have a bowl of ice cream, before I go to bed and watch cartoons. Okay, that's not going to work for me. But, bitch, they ain't got nothing to do with you. This is what I like to do. Although this relationship is going to work because I go to bed at a certain time, so I want my mate to go to bed the same time I go to bed, and he doesn't, I want my mate to be healthy, and he's not going to eat ice cream at 12 o'clock at night and watch cartoons because he's going to be going to bed early like me because we get up early and go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? But baby, I don't do that every night. I go to the gym, yeah, but I like to have a bowl of ice cream on Wednesday nights and watch cartoons at 11:30 at night. Okay, this is not going to work for me because I can't do. You see, I can see her being that type of woman. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to work for me because, if a man doesn't do exactly, you heard she had said about teaching a man. I have to. At this age, I'm not going to be teaching someone. You teaching a grown ass man to do shit. She's gonna teach a grown ass man to do, but she wants them to do is what she wants them to do. Okay, if I'm not comfortable around gay men, that's just me. That don't mean I'm a bad person. So I have to think how you think. I gotta be comfortable with a gay man coming over and hanging out, and I'm just saying if that's what the problem is. Now, if I don't say anything crazy about somebody, I can respect the gay man. I got gay friends. I know gay men. Now, if I don't agree with their lifestyle, then fuck me. I don't agree with them being gay. I don't agree with them. I don't agree with men sleeping with men. That's what I'm saying. I don't agree with that. But I do respect gay men. I don't understand their lifestyle, but I respect them. I have, like I said, I got gay friends that I hang out with. They cool as fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's but they know that, hey, that's kind of like, really, like, you don't never want to. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to just see how the coochie feel, I had some cats tell me I used to work with that was gay. Like they been with women, they just was like they just nothing that they just don't get aroused by them. I'm like, that's crazy, but I'm a straight man, so of course it's gonna be. But I'm not gonna judge them. Hey, that's what you do. To me, it's to each his own. You know what I'm saying? But if you can agree to disagree with somebody, like I may not agree with your life. I smoke weed sometimes. You may not agree with smoking weed, but I can't hang out with you because you smoke weed. You a horrible person. That's stupid. That's fucking stupid. That's a dumb way to think. Anyway, what do y'all think about this video? Leave your comments, subscribe to Charles Inez World, and hit that thumbs up button. Let's talk about it in the comments.